So activity 3.5, the magic words. Once there was a king who had a strange problem. Even though he was an honest and just king, his people did not follow his orders. No matter how hard he tried to make his people follow his orders, they did not obey him. However, since he was just a king, he did not want to punish his people only for not following his orders. Therefore, the king summoned a great wizard who was known to be the wisest man in the kingdom. He asked the wizard if he could cast a spell that would make the people of his kingdom obey the king's orders. The only wizard who did not want to disappoint the king cast a spell on the people of the kingdom, but all his efforts were futile. None of the people followed the king's orders. One day, a young man came to the palace. He said that he possessed powerful magical powers that could solve the king's problems. The king was overjoyed and gave him permission to start his work immediately. In a very short time, the young man came to the king with 2 small parchments and said, "Your Majesty, these are the spells that I have prepared for you. Whenever you are giving orders to your people, use the words that I have written here. If they smile, that means the spell has worked. The important thing about my spell is that it won't wear off. It'll last forever." The king was very excited. He saw a servant passing by and said the first word and asked him to bring a platter of food. For a moment, the servant looked bewildered. Within a few minutes, the servant was in front of the king with a platter of food, with a smile on his face. The king was amazed. He uttered the second magic word and said, "You may go." The servant left feeling happy. Before long, all citizens began to obey the king. Not only did they comply with his orders, they complied with them willingly. Soon, the news about the young man who could cast such powerful spells spread everywhere in the kingdom. Before long, the only wizard heard about the young man and came to meet him. "It's a great honor to meet a wizard as powerful as you," he said. "Would you mind sharing with me the secret of your magic?" The young man smiled and said, "My friend, I'm not a wizard. I'm a teacher. What I wrote on those parchments were not magic utterances, but polite words. The first word was please, and the second was thank you. What our king lacked were good manners. Even though he was just a king, he didn't speak to his people politely. That's why his people disobeyed his orders. These polite words will turn any command into a kind, polite request.